I am an avid user of scratch tickets. Every time I go to the grocery store, I spend $10, $30 on the little crossword games. I have ADHD, so it gives me something to pass the time, and the little dopamine rush I get from daydreaming about winning lots of money is fun for me. I can't drink or use cannabis, medication, so this is my thing. I've been telling my husband lately that one of these days we will be sitting in our living room and I'll win $50,000 off of one of these bad boys, as I lose again and again or just get the money I spent back. Well, yesterday, December 31st, 23, we went grocery shopping and I went to the scratch ticket ATM thingy and exchanged my $5 winning ticket and $10 from my wallet for $3 5 scratchers. I wanted to wait until after 12 a.m., January 1st, 24, to do them since I can't cheers with champagne or anything. So we ring in the new year, and I start on my scratchers. The first one is a crossword. I'm scratching them off, matching the letters. Doing my thing. Looks like I have some words. Counting them up, I'm like, wow, 7 words I won $1,000. Whoa, that's the most I've ever won. I keep scratching, and it keeps going. I count over and over again. I have 9 words. That's the grand prize, $50,000. Now that can't be right. I probably just accidentally scratched off a few letters I wasn't supposed to. I double check. I have my mom double check with me. Nope. I only scratched off the letters I had. Okay, that's fine. I have the state lottery app where I can scan the barcode and it'll tell me how much I won. Usually it says $2, $5. I even had a $50 win once. It'll say, $5 win. Please see cashier. I scan the code. It says, please contact lottery. And nothing more. Okay. That means I won a pretty good amount, right? But $50,000, the grand prize, no way. So I count again. 9 words. My husband counts. 9 words. I take a picture and highlight the words. 9 words. I just won $50,000. Now, obviously, we are headed to the local lottery office first thing in the morning to make sure. But holy shit, it has to be real. I want to scream it from the rooftops, but I can't tell anyone. I don't need people all up in my business asking me for money. So here I am, getting it off my chest. This is life-changing for us. Happy New Year! I feel like 2024 is gonna be a good one. Story 2. My BF won $1K off a scratch-off ticket today. I'm so freaking excited for him. He FaceTimed me at work and we both just screamed with happiness. This might not seem like a lot of money to some people, but gosh, it is to us. And we're both just smiling like idiots for the past 3 hours. We've been living paycheck to paycheck and have never gone on a date because of the money problems. And I have a son with someone else, so usually our dates are to a park or a fast food joint. I love those little dates, don't get me wrong, but he and I both need a bit of fun that is different and new. Anyway, I said to him, imagine the savings. You can pay off your credit card. We can save easy now. Now imagine my face when he says, fuck that, let's take little one to the aquarium in a week and then save the rest. We've been trying to save forever just to be able to take my son to the aquarium and not worry. I'm so in love with this selfless, incredible man. I have no idea how I got so lucky, and I just had to tell someone because I'm so happy right now. Edit. Saddens me that there are so many people shitting on my happiness and pretending they know anything about my financial situation and my life. Unfortunately, I'm obligated to say that what I typed is not verbatim. Obviously, he's going to pay off his debt. Only reason the debt is there to begin with is due to his hospitalization and surgeries. He could have lost his arm or died, but he didn't. Thanks for the unsolicited financial advice, but I'm very happy in my life and we're slowly floating back up after his freak occurrence. I'll update with pictures of the aquarium. Nothing can ruin my mood right now. Story 3. When I first moved to Texas the second day after arriving from a state that didn't allow scratch tickets or have any sort of lottery, I bought $10 one scratch tickets randomly. I won $50 on one, $30 on another, and 2 more $1. I got suckered and would purchase them fairly often for a while, but only winning my money back on a ticket or 2, or maybe double, before I just figured out that my luck ran out LOL. Then a few years later, one of fellow workmates and I were getting some gas and a coffee one morning, and he bought a couple tickets and scratched them when we were fueling up and hit $10,000 on a $5 scratch. He didn't believe it at first and kept saying he thought he won, but wasn't sure. And we kept confirming the win because it was one of those match games that wasn't very clear if you won or not. After several minutes of basically making sure it was a $10,000 winner, he then couldn't figure out where to keep the ticket while we were at work that day. And I just kept telling him to call out, but he didn't want to let his wife know for some reason, and she'd be suspicious or something, and we went to work. That evening, when we went to the shop, he began to furiously throw things about his work truck, and I asked what was up, and he said he couldn't find the ticket. I asked him where he put it, and he said in the glove box, and he locked it. After a few minutes of him not finding it, he began to accuse me of stealing it somehow, like if I even knew where it was to begin with, or had any key to get into his glove box. I told him he probably just forgot where he put it or something, and he insisted he put it in the glove box, and it was even locked, which he said he never had locked it before. I asked if I could take a look, and he hesitantly said, "Okay," and I unhooked the empty glove box and looked in the dash cavity, and there it was with several other small pieces of paper. He kept so much stuff in the glove box, he probably had to push the contents down to close it, and when it expanded and he opened it, the items on top got pushed behind it. He of course refused this thesis and said he thought I had it all along and was just covering, but didn't come at me aggressively or anything, just muttering to himself. He called out the next day, and that's when his wife got a random Facebook message from an anonymous Facebook account, and just simply asking her to say she found out by her own means if possible about him winning $10,000 and taking a day off to go get it cashed at the lottery office. Luckily, I didn't have to work with him very often, but I heard he was ranting about his wife finding out about the win and having to share it with her from some other workers later. Sadly, their marriage didn't last much longer, and he kept showing up to work, obviously hungover, and was put on leave after someone complained, and he had to go get tested for drugs and alcohol, and apparently he was positive for both, but nothing was confirmed by management obviously, and never came back. Another story about a scratch ticket from my past is when I was a kid, in probably like the first or second grade, we did live in a state that sold scratch tickets. My father had one on his dresser. It seemed like it was there for months, but probably much less time in the mind of a kid. I had watched him and other adults scratch tickets, and always wanted to, of course, but was never allowed. This one sitting on his dresser was already scratched, showing $600 winner in the window that was scratched. Well, one day when passing by, I noticed there was one little part that wasn't fully scratched, and it said, "Void if scratched." I had no clue what void meant at the time, but could definitely read it and thought he just didn't scratch everything off, so I got my chance to try it. I went to my piggy bank and got a penny and went back and scratched that small portion of the gray coating off, along with the remnant parts on the rest of the ticket. As I'm finishing up, my father walked in and seen me hunched over his nightstand and asked what I was doing, and I proudly turned around and told him I just scratched the rest of the ticket he missed. The look on his face that immediately took over was one that immediately sent me into panic, knowing I fucked up even if I didn't know how. I got an ass whooping and repeatedly told what the word void means and all the things that money was supposed to be for. I then had a new word for my vocabulary and an understanding of how much we were struggling to pay the bills and whatnot, even if I didn't understand the gravity of it all. This was in the mid-80s, so $600 was a lot more money than it is now. But as a little kid, I didn't understand how much that $600 would have helped until I got older, but learned to never touch anything in my father's room after that. Years later, I asked him about the ticket, and apparently at some work, gathering employees were given them as a prize of some sort. Otherwise, he never played scratch tickets because we didn't have the money to gamble. He said he attempted to still redeem the ticket, explaining the situation, but was denied every attempt at doing so. And the lottery office actually confiscated the ticket, saying it didn't actually belong to him or something along those lines. He didn't exactly recall, but also said, even though it would have helped out tremendously, he hoped I learned a lesson, as he did not to leave important things just lying around, and also just sitting on a blessing that was meant to be used because he had it for a while, trying to figure out what he should use it for. Story 4. I don't play that often, once every 2 weeks, but my luck is incredible. I have won 200, 250, and 300 several times on scratch-off tickets. TBH, I feel gypped when I get a scratch-off and I don't win. Last year, I kept a running tally, and by the end of the year, I was plus 220. Even if I had been down $100, I would be okay, because my dad and I get lots of entertainment out of them. My dad has hit $500 twice, but he plays daily and he lost Tilda $500 last year. I think partly the reason I win is because I only play brand new tickets, and if they are anything like slot machines, they are set to give out more prizes in the beginning, to rope you into playing that ticket machine. Also, I only play $10, $20 tickets which have better odds. Recently, I have been dabbling around on the online lottery games and I have hit a $500 jackpot 3 times. I would say online, I am up $900 for the year. I know most of the time you lose, so eventually my profits will turn into losses. But until then, I'm riding the gravy train, responsibly, until the wheels fall off. Story 5. Absolutely. Here's a story crafted in a similar style. I've always been a bit of a dreamer, but never really the lucky type. My small indulgence has been scratch tickets. You know, the kind you buy at a gas station for a couple of bucks. It's more about the thrill of what if, rather than expecting to win. But hey, everyone needs a little excitement, right? Every Friday, after a long week at work, I'd stop by the local convenience store to grab a soda and a couple of scratch tickets. It's my little ritual, a way to kick off the weekend. I never spend more than $1.10. It's just for fun. Well, on this particular Friday, something felt different. Call it intuition or just a hankering for a change. But I decided to try a different ticket than usual. A new $5 game that promised bigger prizes. Why not, right? I bought 2, along with my usual soda, and headed home. At my kitchen table, I scratched the first ticket. Nothing, not even a free ticket. I shrugged, expecting as much. But then I started on the second one. The first few symbols revealed nothing exciting. But as I kept scratching, I noticed I was matching quite a few numbers. My heart started racing. Could this be it? I kept scratching, revealing more and more matches. When I finally finished, I couldn't believe my eyes. I counted and recounted, making sure I wasn't seeing things. But it was real. I had just won $25,000. I was in shock. $25,000. That's not just pocket change. It's a significant amount of money. I double-checked the ticket, making sure I hadn't missed anything. Then I took a picture of it, zooming in on every detail, ensuring it was real. The excitement was overwhelming, but I knew I had to be careful. I couldn't just go around telling everyone about my windfall. I remembered stories of lottery winners getting hounded for money, or even getting robbed. So I kept it quiet, sharing my incredible news only with my closest family. The next day, I went to the lottery office, the ticket clutched tightly in my hand. My heart was pounding as they verified it. And then, just like that, it was confirmed. I was a winner. That win changed my life in so many ways. It wasn't a fortune, but it was enough to make some significant changes. I paid off some debts, put a down payment on a new car, and even set aside a portion for a vacation I never thought I'd be able to take. Every time I pass that convenience store now, I can't help but smile. That one impulsive decision to try a new scratch ticket turned out to be one of the best decisions of my life. Alright, that's it. Thank you guys for watching and subscribe for more. We will see us again tomorrow. Until then, have a great day, night, or whatever you currently have. Don't forget to leave a comment and share your thoughts. Love y'all.